It is day number 2 of NFL free agency, and we have our first signing of the day as the Kansas City Chiefs have signed corner Kristian Fulton, formerly of the Los Angeles Chargers. Welcome in to this edition of the Kansas City Chiefs Report, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. The news coming out just a little while ago from ESPN's Adam Schefter, who posted the following. Former Chargers cornerback Kristian Fulton has agreed to terms with the Kansas City Chiefs on a 2-year, $20 million contract, including $15 million guaranteed. Deal negotiated by Todd France of Athletes First. That news coming just a little while ago. So let's get to know Kristian Fulton a little bit further here. He played his college ball at LSU, Louisiana State, and was a second-round pick in 2020, was picked 61st overall. And believe it or not, he was actually on the Chiefs' radar. They came very close to drafting him back in 2020. Ultimately, they did not, and he went to the Tennessee Titans, was there from 2020 to 2023, spent last season in the division, in the AFC West, with the Los Angeles Chargers, and he has plenty of experience, 57 career games played with 51 starts. And we're going to go over some numbers here in just a bit, but everything I see about Kristian Fulton is solid. All right, this is not a guy that's going to be a Pro Bowler by any means, but this is a guy that makes your team better. And that adds depth and gives you more versatility and more pieces to work with. And we've seen the Chiefs, their corner room has had a lot of question marks ever since the departure of L'Jarius Sneed. And now you add Fulton to the mix that already includes Trent McDuffie and Jalen Watson, who got healthy at the end of the season, and you'll have him back next year. All of a sudden, you were feeling a lot better about your position in this corner room and the options and flexibility that you have to work with. I think it makes a ton of sense, and he's still a very young player as well, just 26 years of age. How would you grade the signing of Kristian Fulton? Let us know in the comments section. A, B, C, D, or F. I'll give you my grade coming up in just a moment, but want to hear from you guys first. It's our pinned comment today. Weigh in and let us know what you think. Folks, this is why you subscribe to the Kansas City Chiefs Report. When the Chiefs make a signing, we make a video here on the channel, and no signing is too big, no signing is too small. We'll cover it all here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. And right now, you may be watching us. We are live on the Chiefs Report. Maybe you're seeing the video of this come out. Head on over and join us for our live coverage of NFL free agency here this afternoon as we break down this move as well as everything else going on with your Kansas City Chiefs. Subscribe now, turn on notifications, stay up to date with every move going on. Let's get at least 50 subs off today's video. You guys can make it happen and join us for our live coverage right here on the channel, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. The signing for me, I'm going to go with an A here for a multitude of reasons. And let's start with the financial terms. You are getting a player that has played at a pretty decent level at a relatively fair cost, just $10 million a year. And we know that the Chiefs are in a tough salary cap situation. Everybody is very aware of the circumstance that the Chiefs find themselves in with not having a ton of cap space entering free agency. And the thing that I've told you is that there are still some restructures that are waiting out there. Patrick Mahomes, Chris Jones, Creed Humphrey, and others with opportunities to open up more cap space, and that will allow Kansas City to bring in more talent and fill their positions of need. And now a guy like Kristian Fulton a couple weeks ago didn't even seem like was potentially on the radar. You got the deal done with Trey Smith. You got the deal done with Nick Bolton. And what we had heard from Brett Veach throughout free agency going into it was that, hey, we're not going to be able to do much. We view the draft as our version of free agency this year. Well, if this ends up being the end game, if the Chiefs walk away from free agency with their two biggest outside free agent signings being Jalen Moore and Kristian Fulton, on top of keeping Trey Smith, Hollywood Brown, and Nick Bolton, I would say that's pretty successful, and you still have a whole draft ahead. Christian Fulton, here's what we look at when it comes to the numbers. Let's start here. The QB rating, not great, 104.4, but he did have 7 pass breakups, allowed about 453 yards, 5 touchdowns, 36 of 60 pass attempts headed his direction this past year with the LA Chargers. In the numbers, he's been pretty steady throughout his career. 2021, he had 2 interceptions, 40 tackles. 2022, his interception number went down to 1, but he had more tackles, 48 tackles, 3 TFLs, and 5 pass breakups. 2023, no interceptions, but he had 5 pass breakups, 46 tackles, 2 TFLs. And then last season, he had a career high in tackles, 51, 3 TFL, 7 pass breakups, and 1 interception. And when I look at the Pro Football Focus grades, when I break down kind of the nerd numbers that tell more of the story here, folks, his nerd statistics were the best of his entire career, and they were solid across the board. In 2024, he had a defensive grade of 71.1, a run defense grade of 79.3. I don't really need much in run defense for my corners, but hey, I'll take it anyway. Tackling had a 72.3 grade, a pass rush grade of 60, and a coverage grade of 67.9. I can live with all of those major categories. Christian Fulton is, I would call, a guy that's a kind of master of none. He's not bad at anything, but he's not great either. But he's kind of solid, and his specialty is going to be in zone coverage. That's where you'll look to find Christian Fulton at his best and most impactful in that role. What is your one-word reaction to the signing of Christian Fulton? I'll give you my one-word reaction coming up in just a moment, but we want to hear from you guys first. Weigh in the comment section and let us know what that one word is. Chiefs polos are on sale now for up to 50% off while supplies last. Get plenty to choose from the red stripes to the gray to a number of different options. There's a solid red one for you as well. 50% off while supplies last. Chatsports.com/Chiefs polos is where you can get yours today. We have all sorts of other Chiefs merchandise for your liking as well. Head to chatsports.com/Chiefs polos to get yours now. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. My one word is depth. That's what I'm going to go with my one-word reaction here. That now a position that you had depth concerns in 2024 should not be an issue here. Let's say, for all intents and purposes, worst-case scenario here, that you lose a McDuffie, for example. Can I ride for a couple of games rolling with Fulton and Watson? Yeah, I can do that for a little while if I need to. And now you have guys you can move around and that do different things well. Some positional flexibility. To me, I think that's a big deal. And you look at what the Chiefs have done through free agency. In a year we were not expecting Kansas City to do much. These are the results right now. Trey Smith is back. That's great. I got one of the best guards in football holding down the interior of the offensive line. Marquise Brown, we saw glimpses of it in the small sample size last year. He still has something to prove, still has that raw speed, and you do have some concerns at the receiver position. Hollywood makes that feel a lot better. Nick Bolton, one of the best in the league at his position, the heart and soul of this defense. You got him back for 3 years, and you get him in his prime years. Jalen Moore, he's going to be an offensive tackle for you. And then you roll with Elijah Mitchell. And I know some people were fussing about Elijah Mitchell that, hey, he's had the injury concerns. He's gotten worse every year. He might be your third-string tailback. All right, you're probably going to be drafting a day 3 running back anyway. I don't think it's the end of the world bringing in Elijah Mitchell. And then my old friend James Winchester's back. The best long snapper in the NFL gets 1 year, $1.65 million. My fellow Choctaw brethren, James Winchester, glad to have him back. Great locker room guy. He's well respected. And then this news coming just a bit with Christian Fulton getting that deal, 2 years and $20 million. I'll say this. Spags, one of the best defensive coordinators of all time, this is good for him. He's licking his chops at this. Think about this. This would be kind of my parting thought of sorts. In the early days of the Andy Reid regime here in Kansas City, there was not much emphasis on the corner position. What we saw the Chiefs do early on was they loaded up on pass rushers, didn't spend a whole lot on corners, with the idea of, hey, if we get after the quarterback, then the corners don't have to do as much, and we can sacrifice one for another. Well, as time has marched along here, that mentality has changed, especially with Spags calling the shots on defense, where they put more of an emphasis at corner and in the secondary. And this signing, to me, has Spags written all over it that says this is a guy that is going to fit in Spags' scheme and give you more options, especially when it comes to what he can do in zone and some flexibility there for that. So for me, the big winner of this signing, besides you, the Kingdom, Chiefs fans, is Spags of getting more help that he was looking for, especially last year with the concerns that we had and saw the injury issues and how weak that got exposed. In this Spags defense, you have to have strong cornerback play, and they're going to get that now. For continuing Chiefs coverage, subscribe now to the Kansas City Chiefs Report for the latest happenings on your favorite team throughout all of free agency. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.